Colorado High School Activities Association softball is on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network this afternoon from Valley High School in Gilchrist. Another Patriot League battle as the visiting Brush Bee Diggers taking on the Valley Vikings. I'm John Beltran with Evan James. Evan, good to see you. It's been a while.
It sure has.
Do you have the mic? No, you have it? No? But for some reason, I don't hear you.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's see. We got to correct Evan's mic here. Nothing. Let's see. Try that.
Maybe that's better?
There.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, my gosh. You're coming in loud and clear now. I think we had a mic issue there, but we are good now. But Evan is back. We never know when he's going to be with us, but it's always good to have him with us because I like company doing these games, especially when it's an anticipated battle here. The Bee Diggers trailed against Valley in their earlier meeting, but then won the game 12-4. Brush going in is 5-5 in the Patriot League and 9-8 overall, and Valley is 3-6 in league play and 6-9 on the season. The Vikings are wearing their black uniforms with the white pants, and the Bee Diggers in their gold with the maroon outline and the black pants. Bee Diggers starting lineup is brought to you by
Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check it out today.
Batting first for the Bee Diggers is the second baseman Avery Lefevre. The second hitter is the shortstop Braylon Rule. Hitting third is the third baseman Carly Tatelli. The left fielder Harley Holdren is the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth, the first baseman Olivia Gillick. Mason Unrein in the circle will hit sixth. The seventh hitter is the center fielder Nevaeh Tolentino. Batting eighth is the catcher Maya Bruno and Delaney Draggart. The right fielder bats ninth. Defensively for Valley, the first baseman is Victoria Blanco. At second is Tori Damian. Over at third is Olivia Lawing. In between them at short is Hannah White. The left fielder is Kaya Grant. The center fielder is Bailey Segura. Brianna Mercado in right. Behind the plate is Kendall Luark. And on the mound, Ava Campos. A right-hander, Grant, I believe, threw the first game against Brush when the Bee Diggers won that one 12-4. So they'll see this pitcher for the very first time for the second and final meeting between the Bee Diggers and the Valley Vikings. The Bee Diggers as a team are hitting .328. Pretty solid average, and Valley is not quite in that range. Let's see, Valley batting .274 as a unit. Yeah, 1 year ago. I mean, this was a high-scoring game.
It was.
Oh, man, it was really high-scoring. The Bee Diggers came away with a victory. And that score was 15-11 on September the 1st. So here we go. The opening pitch is brought to you by
Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project.
All right, that's the booming voice of Evan James. And here we go with the opening pitch. Here to Avery Lefevre and the offering. And that's down and away. A ball and no strikes. To Lefevre, batting .282. She's been all over the place in the lineup, but I think she's settling into the top spot with all that speed. And the offering. Swung on and lifted down to third base side of the foul territory, and the catch is made by Olivia Lawing. And quite frankly, that is not a good pitch to swing at. That thing was way above letter level, and the only thing you're going to do is pop that up, and it's an easy out for Valley. There's one down.
It's very true, John.
Yeah, I'm not sure why she swung at that pitch.
Can't get greedy in this game.
Well, I mean, you're right. Patience would have helped out. It would have been a 2-0 count, the pitch. And Braylon Rule takes it in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. The junior hitting .434, leading the Bee Diggers in that category. And she's got plenty of pop, not only based on that average, but she can hit the gaps pretty well. Gorgeous field here in Gilchrist. And the 1-0 offering. Swing and a foul at the plate. She's way out in front. They've got to pace out themselves at the plate because
it's a slower delivery. But
well, Campos does not throw like a Sadie Ross or even a Addison Harding of University.
Not at all.
They've got to sit back. If they're too aggressive, they're going to hit pop-ups like Lefevre just did. And he won. And that's in the dirt. Also one strike. Weight on that back foot. And the offering. And that's upstairs. Ball 3, strike 1. 1 out, just underway. From Valley High School. The Bee Diggers have 5 games remaining after this one. And they've got a couple of tough ones against Eaton on the road. Home against Strasburg. The pitch. Up and away. It's a walk. And then you wonder if that's going to be one of the themes of this game as well. Because in that September 1st meeting, as Carly Tatelli steps in, when you look at the pitching on both sides, Braylon Rule went the distance. She only walked 4 in that game, and she will not pitch today. The pitch, and that's low, going to second, an easy steal, sliding in for Braylon Rule. And meanwhile, the Valley pitching produced 8 walks 1 year ago here in Gilchrist.
If I remember correctly, John, I mean, I thought we had some pitching changes.
Oh, yeah, they did.
For Eaton, or excuse me, for Valley.
1 ball. Swung on line foul again. You got to wait on these pitches. Tatelli way out in front, hit that a mile foul up the first base side, and the count is leveled at 1-1. Game time temperature in Gilchrist. And we'll have Evan guess it here in just a second. And the pitch. That is right there for a strike on the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes. You want to guess there, Evan?
I think it's about 80 degrees.
Not bad, 82. You're within 2 degrees, so you win the game.
We're in the shade today, so that's always nice.
It's great. It's about 75 in the shade. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Campos comes home. And that is a little bit low. Rule takes third without a throw. Another stolen base for the junior. And that pitch was awfully close, but it was below the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down in the top of the first inning. Brush at Valley. And Tatelli awaits the pitch. Up and away. Ball 3, strike 2. She's got plenty of power, no doubt about it. Tons of power. In fact, so does Holdren on deck. Campos looks in. Payoff pitch. Outside. And it's a second straight walk issued by Campos. And here's Harley Holdren. Little shout out here.
Yep. Harley Holdren's grandma, Patricia.
Yes.
I just call her Grandma.
Well, welcome to the broadcast. I'm glad she's listening in. I'm sure she's been listening in throughout the season. Tatelli hitting 304. Holdren hitting 404. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Again, out in front. Here's the thing. If you haven't come up to the plate, you've got to be on that on-deck circle or on the bench knowing that she's
going to be slow.
Right.
You got to time it up, and you got to wait for it. That's all you can do. Like I said, you have to have that patience.
And the pitch. That is a strike at the letters. And taking second, no throw is Tatelli. Holdren down. No balls and 2 strikes. And we know that Harley has tons of power. But she certainly has to sit back. And the offering, very high. Ball 1, strike 2. The Bee Diggers looking for at least a run, if not more, in the top of the first inning with 1 out and 2 in scoring position. Holdren down in the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Bee Digger outfielder waits the pitch. Swing and a miss on the ball in the dirt. They're going to have to throw out at first. And the throw made and out of the plate. Rule slides. She's in there. So the out is recorded as Luark retires. Holdren on the strikeout, but on the throw to first, Braylon scores from third. It's 1-0. Brush. But she did not swing at a good pitch. That thing was into the dirt. But because it was not a good pitch, she wasn't able to catch it on the fly. The pitch. And that is outside. This is Olivia Gillick. The Bee Diggers have not put the ball in play except a fly ball into foul territory hit by Lefevre. Gillick hitting 341. And the 1-0 offering, and that's way outside. 19 pitches thrown by Campos, and only 7 have been strikes, so you can tell that she'll battle her control a little bit until she gets into a rhythm. 2-0 here to Gillick. Hitting from the right side. And the offering, very high. She's already walked 2 and 1 pitch away from walking her 3rd of the first inning. This happened the other day when the Bee Diggers scored against Resurrection Christian early without the benefit of a hit. And they scored the final run of the game to end it without a hit, without a ball being put in place. 3-0 is inside. It's a walk. That'll send up Mason Unrein with 2 down, hitting .380. Unrein has driven in 10. That's good for 3rd on the team. With runners at the corners, Unrein awaits, and that bounces in and blocked over there by Luark, but to second is Gillick. Yeah, the Bee Diggers will run as much as they can in this game. A ball and no strikes. And if Unrein pitches the way she has all season, then Brush will be in good shape. But let's see if she can help herself at the plate. Campos looks in with a 1-0. Swung on and grounded down to third base side. The ball is bobbled out there, and Unrein's going to reach on the misplay by Olivia Lawing, and the Bee Diggers lead 2-0 as Tatelli scores. Simple roller out there. No RBI. And runners at the corners, and you know that Unrein will be leaving from first any second. Tolentino's the hitter. Naveo waits. A strike down the middle. Unrein takes second. Hard to call these stolen bases. They're uncontested, but
oh yeah,
you know, the Bee Diggers are going to take advantage. Tolentino's batting .261. 2 in scoring position. She can double the lead with a hit into the outfield. The pitch. And that bounces in and bounces away. And to the plate and scoring easily is Gillick. And to third is Unrein. It's 3-0 Brush and a wild pitch. And Tolentino up there with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. First Bee Digger run of the game brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. We'll get to that read here after this pitch here. The offering, and that bounces in.
Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Strong commitment to their clients' needs set them apart. Get your project started the right way with Western Engineering Consultants.
2 balls and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers with a 3-0 lead. They have no hits, but they have been issued 3 walks by this right-hander Campos. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the offering. Swung on and lifted down to third base side foul. Didn't have much altitude to it. And it goes to 2-2. Brush has not gotten off a good swing yet, Evan.
No.
I mean, there have been limited number of swings, but really not a solid one yet.
I think it's just a stark difference to what they've been thrown.
Yeah.
It's kind of throwing them off. It's kind of throwing them for a loop here.
Even when they beat Resurrection Christian, Alexis Knapp, she can throw.
Yeah.
She's a good pitcher. The offering. Up and away. And the count is now at 3-2 to Nevaeh Tolentino. With a runner at third. And Campos winds and fires. Swung on and driven up the middle, and that's going to be fielded by the shortstop, but a late throw. It's a base hit. Right behind the second base bag as Hannah White made the play, and it wasn't hit that sharply, but hit in the perfect spot. Unrein scores. Brush leads 4-0. It's like every pitch is a changeup to them.
Yeah.
And that ball was just hit in the perfect spot. Here's Amaya Bruno.
You know, honestly, they got to go back to the fundamentals. You know, got to go back to pitching practice and batting practice.
Swung on, that ball's grounded foul up the third base side. And again, what did you just say? Patience.
Yeah.
She's swinging a pitch at around the ankles there. No balls and 1 strike, so the Bee Diggers do pick up a hit for their 4th run. And Campos has really been working on the mound, 30 or on the in the circle, 30 pitches on the rubber, I should say.
Not baseball season yet, John.
No, I know. I'm a little bit early. No balls and 1 strike. Bruno awaits the pitch. Swung on line and off the glove of the pitcher, headed up the third base side, fielded, and a throw's going to be late. And now headed for third is Tolentino. The throw, the slide, and she's going to be in there as the ball gets away. And now into second is Bruno, and the Bee Diggers have two more in scoring position. We'll call that a base hit. It could have been caught by the pitcher, but it was hit almost so softly that I think she closed the glove a little bit early. And it's more of a reflex play as opposed to an infielder. So a base hit for Bruno, and now second and third for Delaney Draggart. She's in the lineup looking to get out of an offensive slump, hitting 158, but she was under 100. The pitch upstairs. And the one thing Delaney knows, she got caught a couple of times this year swinging at pitches that were above the letters. Got to go letters down, not letters up. 1 ball and no strikes, 4-0 Brush of the first. And the pitch swung on and fouled, and again, she's way out in front.
I think we have a courtesy runner at second.
Off the end of the bat, that's Reese Lambert. Nope, no, it isn't.
No.
Not 13, or is that Hernandez?
That's Hernandez, 23.
Alicia Hernandez, Alicia, I should say, at second base. But Tolentino is the runner at third. 1 ball and 1 strike. The offering swung on and lined and caught by the shortstop, Hannah White. That was fisted to the shortstop. And again, the Bee Diggers did not have a real solid swing in the inning. However, they were opportunistic. 4 runs on 2 hits. 1 error and 2 left. The Bee Diggers score 4 in the top of the first inning. And the Valley Vikings are coming to bat in Gilcrest on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Mason Unrein will deliver the first pitch at the bottom of the first, and that is taken for a strike at the letters. And the hitter for Valley is Bailey Segura, followed by Kaya Grant and Kendall Luark. And that's fisted foul. That might have almost hit her, actually. That was in on the hands. Batting fourth is Tori Damian. The fifth hitter is Hannah White. The first baseman, Victoria Blanco, hits sixth. Olivia Lawing, the third baseman, bats seventh. Brianna Mercado in right hits eighth. And Ava Campos, the pitcher, bats ninth. The offering, and that is taken up and away. Olivia Gillick at first for Brush. The second baseman is Avery Lefevre. Carly Tatelli is playing third this time. Braylon rules at short. That means the center fielder is Tolentino. Holdren in left, Draggart in right. Swing and a miss at the letters. Segura goes down swinging, 1 down for Kaya Grant. As we mentioned, Valley hitting 274 as a team going in. And Grant is hitting 256. Segura hitting 400 going into that plate appearance. The offering, right down the middle for a strike. Just above the knees, it's 0-1. You can tell Mason has really matured.
She has.
Her sophomore year. She's a confident pitcher. She's thrown very well this year. And the offering, change-up, swing and a miss on a pitch that was in the dirt. No balls and 2 strikes. If the Bee Diggers win this game, they would improve to 10-8 and move to 6-5 in the Patriot League, up 4-0. In the bottom of the first inning, had just 2 hits in the inning. And the 0-2 upstairs. A better start for Brush than what we saw the first time when it was a scoreless game in the 4th inning.
And you can definitely see the changes with the pitching for this Brush team.
Swing and a miss on a pitch at the letters, a little bit below the letters on the outer half, and Kaya Grant strikes out. There's 2 down here for Kendall Luark. And you can see the steam that she's bringing to the plate. And that will send up, as I mentioned, Luark. We'll check out the average. Way outside. A ball and no strikes. And I had it wrong. Grant was hitting 429, Luark at 256. So the first 2 hitters, both at 400 or more. The pitch, swing and a miss. It was down and in. And the count levels at 1-1. Mason Unrein looking to make this a quick inning. And giving the Bee Diggers another chance in the second. And the offering, swung on and fouled off to the right. A ball and 2 strikes to Luark. With 2 down and the bases empty in the bottom of the first inning. Bruno lays down the sign. The pitch, Swing and a miss. She strikes out the side. That pitch was up and in as Luart goes down. Let's head to the second inning in Gilchrist. Brush 4, Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. A couple of seniors in life with you, Evan James in high school and John Beltran in life as we head to the second inning. And the V-Diggers lead the Valley Vikings in Gilchrist 4-0. Brush nearly batted around. Well, they did. They hit all 9. Yep.
Yeah.
Lefevre will lead off to begin the second inning. She popped into foul territory in the first, and all she has to do in making an adjustment is swing at a strike.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. And she's sharp enough that she'll figure it out. Small in stature, but sharp.
The pitch. That's a strike. Right down the middle at the knees. It's 0-1 to Lefevre. Well, it was the second pitch he swung at that was out of the zone. And when you fall behind in the count, you can't swing at the second pitch if it's not there. The 0-1. That one's upstairs, and the count levels at 1-1. This fence looks close.
It does.
But it probably isn't. It's a high fence, but it looks really close, and we don't know. There's no numbers attached to the distance in terms of feet. And the 1-1. That is a strike. Just below the letters on the outer half, it's 1-2.
And you know, John, that's the difference between softball and baseball. In softball, I see a couple of fluctuating things like the smaller fences on some fields.
Oh, yeah. They're pretty uniform in softball. The 1-2, way outside. Here's the one thing that's happening with Lefevre. She's stepping pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wait. I know it's not natural, but you're going to have to wait and then take the step and swing. Because everything's going to be a changeup then if you step that early. And the 2-2, and that's down and in, and I think it got her on the left foot. It did. Well, that's 3 walks and now a hit batter by the right-hander Ava Kamphaus. And here is Braylon Rule. She walked and scored in the first. When the V-Diggers tallied their 4 runs, they scored 3 of those without putting the ball in play, except one time. That was an error. The pitch high. And you know what's going to happen? If the V-Diggers stretch out to a big lead, the strike zone will be expanded, I would think, just to move the game along.
Mm-hmm.
1 ball and no strikes. Rule awaits. She squares to bunt and fouls it, and it's caught behind the plate. That's an out. It was caught. Now back to first, and that's going to be thrown into right field. As trying to get back to first was Lefevre. That should have been a double play, and there's 1 down. So, Bray, I don't know why she's back at the plate. That ball was caught. I'm not sure why she's at the plate. That she fouled ball. But it was caught by, I thought it was caught by, well, okay. I guess just a foul, but I thought it was caught by the catcher.
It was.
On the fly.
It was.
Okay, the 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled. But you see how they threw back to first because she went back to first.
Yeah.
Since it was an out. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Somebody has to explain the rule to me because I don't know. You can text me if you have my number. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was definitely caught. Now, the ball wasn't hit more than about a foot high. Swung on, lined down the left field line, headed for the corner. Around second to third is Lefevre. She's in there. And Braylon Rule into second with a double. And the V-Diggers have 2 on to begin the top of the second, up 4-0. Maybe it just didn't go high enough. That's the only thing that could have happened, because it wasn't a deflection into the glove. It was bunted.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, maybe a foot, if even that. And she caught it, and Lefevre raced back to first.
Yeah.
And I never saw it called a dead ball. Here is Carly Tatelli. The pitch bounces in. She walked her first time up. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, I guess it's ruled that that's more of a deflection as opposed to a pop-up to the catcher. But it was not a good bunt by Braylon. She got away with one.
Oh, yeah.
And the 1-0 offering. That is a strike on the outside corner. Belt high. The count is leveled at 1-1. In this case, it would be waist high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4-0 Brush in the top of the second. In Gilchrist. The pitch inside. Ball 2, strike 1. Here to Carly Tatelli. And she awaits the offering. Down and away. 47 pitches thrown by the right-hander. 26 are out of the zone. You like at least a 2-to-1 strike-to-ball ratio.
Oh, yeah.
And right now we're not even at even. Down on the count at 3-1 with Holdren waiting to hit next. The pitch. That bounces in. It's a walk. And the bases are loaded. And if Holdren can sit back with that power, she could double the lead.
You know, like I was saying, you got to go back to that batting practice. You got to make sure your form's perfect, just like coaches taught you, you know. Got to wait on it. Wait on it, and then you got to go.
We'll find out right here. The pitch swung on and lifted into left field. Coming on, still coming. And the catch is made out there. Now breaking to the plate and scoring on the slide is Lefevre. It's a sac fly. The other runners advance. And it's 5-0 Brush. And even there, Holdren swung a little bit too early. She got way underneath that pitch. But she drove in a run, so good job by Harley Holdren.
That'll bring up Olivia Gillick for the Beat Diggers here.
Gillick walked and scored. The pitch, and that bounces in. A ball and no strikes. Still with 2 in scoring position for the Beat Diggers. And awaiting the pitch. That bounces again. 2-0. Rockies about to wrap up their game with the Dodgers, but we'll see 5-4 with 2 outs and 2 on in the 9th. 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch to Gillick. Swung on. That's grounded into left field for a base hit. A run is going to score. Another run around third towards the plate, and a sliding in safely head first is Tatelli, and the ball gets away. And to third is Olivia Gillick. It's a 2-run single. And the Beat Diggers now lead 7-0 with 3 across in the second. And that's as hard a ball as you can hit.
Morgan Community College. MCC is here to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out today at morgancc.edu.
Mason Unrein reached on an error. She now steps in with a runner at third and 1 out. The offering. And that bounces away. Gillick will stay at third. Nice job by Luark retrieving that softball. A ball and no strikes.
Has it cooled down, John, or is it just me?
It might have. Let's see the temperature, if that's gone down. It's still at 82. 1-0. Swung on and fouled off to the right.
Beautiful day for softball, I'll tell you what.
No doubt about that.
Got that nice little cloud cover. A little bit of blue sky, but...
Yeah, well, low 80s. I'll take that any time.
Oh, yeah.
Still with only 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. 3 across in the second. And the offering. Swung on and hit slowly on the ground up the third base side, and it is foul. That ball is just foul as Lawing was charging.
Tom Odell kind of having a laugh over there on the third base side.
Well, again, if you're a base runner, you got to be careful. But if you're a hitter, other than Gillick the last time, Brush is really just being a little bit too aggressive at the plate.
Yeah.
And we'll await the 1-2. Here it is. Swung on, pop foul, and that is nearly caught, but I couldn't get it. Over the outstretched left hand. Yeah, well, I avoided a broken finger.
Well, that's probably good. I mean, we wouldn't want you to be bad.
Well, I'm already bad. That right toe has been bothering me for 2 months. Sorry, make it 2.5. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's gone away at times, so I'll admit that. The pitch. Swung on, popped up, should score a run into right center field. Long run for Segura. She makes the catch, tagging up at third. And to the plate is Gillick. She slides in safely. And on the sac fly. by Mason Unrein. The Bead Diggers lead 8-0. And that will bring up Nevaeh Tolentino. And the Dodgers just tied the Rockies at 5 in the 9th.
Uh-oh.
Well, bound to happen. That Colorado bullpen is shaky. Tolentino with a single. The pitch, swing and a miss on a ball that was way outside. No balls and a strike to Tolentino. Waiting the offering. Swung on line, very foul up the third base side.
Way out in front.
No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, we could be done here in about an hour and a half from the start of the game. Rush could easily go up by 12 runs after 4. They're up by 8 right now. We're not out of the second.
If they keep consistently getting 4 per inning.
Yeah. 0-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch above the letters, and Tolentino strikes out. 4 runs on 2 hits for the Bead Diggers. No errors, and the bases were left empty as we head to the bottom of the second inning in Gilchrist. It's Brush 8, Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Torrey Damian will lead off the bottom of the second for Valley, 8-0 Brush. John Beltran along with Evan James. Mason Unrein struck out the side in order in the first. The pitch is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Torrey Damian. Another right-handed hitter in this lineup. And the pitch. Swing and a miss at the letters. A little bit of a rise ball there. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the offering. Swing and a miss. That pitch was up and in. 1-2. Unrein's not only throwing strikes, but quality pitches. Really quality pitches. They're not necessarily down the middle from one pitch to the next. And the 1-2 offering. That is right there on the outer half, on the outside corner. In fact, for the strikeout, she's caught looking, and there's 1 down. As Damian, a strikeout victim number 4 in as many batters. And Hannah White will now bat for Valley. The pitch. Swing and a miss and a ball tailing in. No balls and 1 strike to Hannah White hitting .308. The pitch. Swing and a miss up and away. That was way outside the strike zone.
That was up on the head level.
Yeah, if you're going to give her that, then you're in real trouble if you're Valley. 0-2. Unrein has a double-digit strikeout game this year. The offering, and that is a strike at the knees. Wow, the bottom of the strike zone there on the outside corner. And Hannah White is caught looking. 2 down. She struck out the first 5 Vikings. And Victoria Blanco will now hit, coming in at a .273 clip. Yeah, she cannot pitch much better than this.
No.
Looking really good. Swing and a miss, and that was on the inside corner.
Doing a wonderful job.
No balls and 1 strike. Coming home. Swing and a miss again. Waist high, and it's 0-2. Man, this is incredibly impressive now from Mason Unrein. No balls, 2 strikes. The offering right there on the outside corner just above the knees. And Mason Unrein for the 2nd straight inning strikes out the side in order. We're going to head to the 3rd in Gilchrist. It's the Mason Unrein show on the hill. And the Bead Diggers lead the Valley Vikings 8-0 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Amaya Bruno leads off for Brush here in the 3rd, up 8-0 in Gilchrist. The offering swung on and grounded sharply to second, right underneath the glove of Torrey Damian. That'll be an error. The second on the Vikings hit hard, but that should have been made. And there's A bead digger at first base, and Bruno will get a courtesy runner. And Alicia Hernandez. That actually was a very hard hit ball.
I was still in the middle of standing up, so I didn't quite see it.
Yeah, oh, I mean, it was hit well, but that play has to be made. Here's Delaney Draggart, the pitch. Swung on, that ball is grounded to third and bobbled, and the throw to first is going to be late. Now headed to third is Hernandez. Nobody's at the base. Nobody is near third base. That'll be another error. That one is on third baseman Olivia Lawing, misplaying that grounder. 3 for Valley in this game. The Bead Diggers have runners at the corners with nobody out for Avery Lefevre. Popped up and hit by a pitch and has scored a run. Been a long afternoon here for Valley, up and away. 1 ball and no strikes, and we're not even out of the third inning. One and 0. And the pitch swung on and fouled off the end of the bat. Again, Lefevre way out in front. She has got to make that adjustment. She's not seeing it.
You got to slow it down.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got to see that. And it's not, because she's doing the same thing the first 3 at-bats, is taking that. The ball's not even, it's barely halfway there. Let's see if she adjusts the pitch. There she goes, swung on, grounded sharply off the shortstop into left field. Chased down by Grant. And now headed for third as Draggart. Into second is going to be Lefevre, but that'll be another miscue. That ball was hit right at her. And the Bead Diggers played a run. It's now 9-0 as Hernandez scores. An error, but it is an RBI for Lefevre. And 2 more in scoring position. Here's Rule. The pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle. Shortstop to her left. Nearly tagged out. The runner going by throw to first, and I believe that was late. And scoring is Draggart. That's great base running by Lefevre. She had to dive back to second. If not, White would have tagged her. And Lefevre got in there ahead of the tag. That is an infield single, second hit for Rule. And Brush now leads 10-0. Well, that's good on both ends. Solid hit there by Rule and great base running by Lefevre. Here's Tatelli. 2 walks in the game. Swung on, popped up. Oh. Here's the thing I want to say, Evan. You don't want to get into bad habits.
Oh, no.
When there's a big lead. They have a 10-0 lead, and the pitch she swung at is
not a pitch you should ever swing at.
No, that's almost approaching neck level. You don't want to get into a bad habit. You want to have a solid at bat every time. The 0-1. Very high. Nice job of Luark basically jumping to snag that softball. Brush in the game now has 5 base hits. Valley has committed 4 miscues, though, 4 errors. 1 ball, 1 strike, no out. 2 across. 2 on base. The pitch in the dirt and skips away. Lefevre to third. Rule to second on the wild pitch.
Holy smokes, they got some speed out there.
Yep. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. Brush is going to clear the bench. Coach Odell is going to clear this bench at some point. They might score more than 4 in this inning, which was the total in the first 2 innings. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tatelli. The offering, and that is on the inside corner. That's an expanded zone there, but that's going to happen with a 10-0 game.
Especially in the third.
Right. 2-2. The pitch swung on and lifted into deep right center field. Segura's way back. She's going to make the catch in the gap. Both runners will tag. Lefevre scores from third. Rule to third, and Brush leads 11-0. And Tatelli hit that one a long way, just below the scoreboard in right center field.
She drilled that one.
And even there, looked like a lot of an arm swing, but she has so much power that she was able to plate the run. Harley Holdren will now hit. Holdren with a sac fly and a strikeout. Swings and fouls it at the plate, and again she's out in front. Yeah, and you can tell when they hit it off the end of the bat like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one bugaboo for the Bee Diggers in this game. A little bit too aggressive at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Looking in is Campos. Swung on and tapped up the third base side foul. Same thing. You imagine if she waits a little bit?
She would drill it.
Yeah, but unable. And I know she wants to, but you've got to
can't be too hasty on it.
Sit back. You got to sit back just a tad more. 0-2. The offering. Swung on. That ball's hit sharply to short. White's got it. Throws to first for the out. And scoring is Rule. It's an RBI for Holdren. She did make the adjustment for the RBI ground out. The Bee Diggers have 4 across in each of the first 3 innings. And Brush now leads 12-0.
Olivia Gillick coming up to bat.
She's walked and singled. And Gillick has also scored, let's see. In this game, swing and a miss. Now we'll have to check how many times she scored, at least once. We know that.
Yeah.
No balls and 1 strike. And Mason Unrein has struck out all 6 hitters she's faced. The pitch. Swung on and driven into the right center field gap. Segura all the way over. She dives and makes an incredible catch. Holy mongus. A snow cone catch on her knees. A sparkling defensive play by Bailey Segura, robbing Gillick of at least a double. And the Bee Diggers are retired in this inning. However, 4 runs on just a base hit. 3 errors and nobody left. 2.5 complete. In Gilchrist, and the Bee Diggers lead the Valley Vikings 12-0 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Mason Unrein delivers. Swing and a miss. On the outer half to Olivia Lawing. No balls and a strike. 12-0 Brush over Valley in the third. The pitch right there. Down the middle, it's strike 2. Unrein has thrown just 24 pitches, 20 strikes, and 4 balls.
That's really good.
Exceptional. They might throw a rise ball here. The offering. Swing and a miss. It was a rise ball, and that was neck level there for Lawing. 7 strikeouts for Mason Unrein. Here's Brianna Mercado stepping into the batter's box for Valley. The pitch, foul to the screen. Tailing in, Mercado is batting .226, hitting out of the 8-hole. No balls and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers up by a dozen. The pitch, swing and a miss, took something off it. It was down the middle as that ball was sinking a bit. No balls and 2 strikes. And Mason Unrein, she doesn't need teammates out there the way she's pitching.
No.
The offering, that's right there, outside corner. Can't take that pitch. That is perfect. 8 strikeouts in a row for Mason Unrein as Mercado is the next victim. Here's the pitcher, Ava Campos.
High Plains Bank, your friendly local community bank serving Wiggins and all surrounding areas. Find out more at highplainsbank.com.
Down the middle for a strike by Mason Unrein. To the opposing pitcher, can she strike out the entire order the first time around? No balls and 1 strike. Unrein comes home. Swing and a miss on a pitch tailing in. It is 0-2. Wow. I mean, is she going to pull this off for 3 consecutive innings? We're going to find out. The offering upstairs. Campos did not go fishing there. Ball and 2 strikes. Unrein ready. The junior right-hander comes home. Swing and a miss at the knees. Mason Unrein, 9 strikeouts of Valley Vikings. As we head to the 4th inning, Brush 12, Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. This could be the final inning as the Bee Diggers are up 12-0, top of the 4th, and the pitch is outside. to Mason Unrein. A ball and no strikes. Unrein in the game is 0 for 1, has a sac fly. The pitch, very high here from Campos. Rockies now trail 7-5 in the 10th inning. On a 2-run homer by Max Muncy, one of Evan's favorites. Not as a baseball player, just to say the name.
Yeah, it's a cool name.
Max Muncy, right? And the 2-0. Swung on, pop foul out of play behind the screen.
No chance of catching that one, John.
That is an outstanding point, as you are full of those, of outstanding points, not full of them. At least, didn't want you to think I was misinterpreting that. Here we go with a 2-ball, 1-strike pitch. Swing and a miss on the outside corner. Unrein was way out in front.
You got a little excited. Forgot to sit back on it.
Yep. Count levels at 2-2. Unrein awaits the offering. Here it is. Swung on line. Base hit up the middle. And that thing was hit on a line. A no-doubt single by Unrein. She's now 1 for 2. And the B-Diggers once again for the third straight inning have the leadoff runner on. Reese Lambert will be the courtesy runner at first.
And there's a new hitter coming in. Looks to be Keeley Lankford.
That is Keeley Lankford.
Junior now.
That's a pretty good swings the other day against Resurrection Christian. Had a beautiful bunt up the third base side. I doubt she'd be bunting in a 12-0 game. Played some solid second as well. And this is one of her newer sports. She's more familiar with basketball and track and field.
Volleyball.
Yep. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball is laced into left field for a base hit. Rounding second, but holding up is Lambert. And Keeley Lankford picks up a base hit for Brush. For the B-Diggers, that is their 7th hit of the game. And she did wait on the pitch.
Yeah, did a wonderful job there.
There's Amaya Bruno. She singled and reached on an error. 1 for 2. Campos comes home. Bounces in, blocked beautifully, and now taking off for third and sliding in is Lambert on the wild pitch. Yeah, you would think this is going to be it. The B-Diggers will be able to get out of here in 4 innings.
Just got to tack on some of those insurance runs.
Yeah, you got to up by 12 runs after 4. A minimum of 12 runs. That's where they are now with nobody out. And the pitch to Bruno. Inside. It's a 2-0 count. That's the voice of Evan James. I'm John Beltran. 5 more games remaining after today, and they're all
James and
games.
John show.
There you go. The pitch. Down and in. The ball skips away. Here comes Lambert. Slides in. She's in there. And the second is Lankford, and the B-Diggers are leading 13-0. And Bruno way ahead in the count at 3-0. Time for the question of the day. It'll be coming up in 1 second here for Evan. The pitch, and that's outside. It's a walk. So here we go. Evan, how you doing?
You know, John, I'm doing pretty good. It's a nice day.
Okay.
Can't complain. It's a good day for softball. How are you doing?
You know what? I echo every one of the thoughts you just had.
You know what would make it better?
Uh-oh, here we go. Something food-related, would it?
Yeah, a little Taco Bell.
There it is. They're not a sponsor, so watch out. Here's Draggart. Swung on and lifted towards the shortstop White. She'll make the catch. Infield fly rule. There's one down. In on the fists of Delaney Draggart. One out here. Let's see if Lefevre is going to hit. She will. Avery Lefevre will be stepping in for Brush. With 1 across, 2 on, 1 out the pitch. Swung on, line towards center field, and Segura comes in. She's going to make that catch and doubled up easily as Lankford. That was not good base running. Keeley never looked back to center. She was probably about 25 feet off the bag, and Segura threw to second. And Keeley Lankford has doubled up on the line drive, hit from Avery Lefevre. And the Bee Diggers are limited to 1 run in the top of the 4th inning. They do it on 2 hits. No errors, and there was a base runner left. Well, Mason Unrein has struck out all 9 Valley Vikings she's faced. If she allows a run or less, this game would be over. We'll come back in 1 minute. Brush 13 Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Mason Unrein to deliver the first pitch at the bottom of the 4th inning. And that is up and away, a ball and no strikes to Bailey Segura, who's been outstanding defensively for Valley. She's made a couple of really nice plays out in center field. And the pitch, swing and a miss. That was tailing in on the right-handed hitter. And the count is level at 1-1. 34 pitches thrown by Unrein, 28 strikes, 6 balls, and 9 strikeouts. And she comes home. Foul tipped into the glove on the pitch of the outside corner. It's 1-2. Segura, Grant, and Luark, as she's going for, quite frankly, a 4-inning perfect game here. And the 1-2. Called strike 3, outside corner at the knees. Segura strikes out. 10 strikeouts for Mason Unrein. 1 out. Here's Kaya Grant, who struck out swinging.
Macy Unrein really showing off today.
Well, I mean,
showed up to play, I'll tell you what.
Well, I mean, this is not a great performance. This is a historic performance so far. I mean, you don't do this. I don't care who you're pitching against.
Shutting them down here.
And the offering. Upstairs, a ball and no strikes. Not always easy to get the final 3 outs. Not for the victory, but just to be as impeccable as she's been, as immaculate as she's been on the mound. And the 1-0. Oh, she nearly hit her. Bounced that one in, and that's what I'm talking about. You start thinking about it. She knows how well she's pitched. Could go from a perfect game to a no-hitter. She already has a no-hitter this year against Resurrection Christian. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. Right there, swung on and fouled back. 2-1. In the game against Resurrection Christian, Mason Unrein had 9 strikeouts, so she's eclipsed that. The pitch, swing and a miss, and that pitch was at the ankles. She got a break there. 2-2. In that game, she walked a couple and hit a batter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering. Swing and a miss on the inner half. Strikeout number 11 for Mason Unrein. And she is 1 batter away from a perfect game here in Gilchrist. And Kendall Luark will now step in. And 1 out away from a Bee Digger victory. Up 13-0 in the 4th. The offering, swing and a miss. Boy, she threw that on the outer half. It's 0-1. Unrein 42 pitches deep, only 8 outside the strike zone. They just want to make contact. Bee Diggers have not needed anybody defensively. The pitch, up and away, and the count levels at 1-1. We don't have players of the game, but this one's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Unrein gets a sign and comes home. Swing and a miss. That pitch again on the outer half. It's 1-2. 1 pitch away from perfection for Brush Jr. Mason Unrein against Kendall Luark. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the inner half, waist high, and it's a perfect game for Mason Unrein, striking out all 12 hitters she faces, and the Brush Bee Diggers defeat the Valley Vikings in Gilchrist 13-0. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll wrap it up after this. Brush 13, Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
The Brush Bee Diggers postgame show is brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fill up your cooler and gas up your car at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Easy and convenient, which makes them the only stop you need on your way to the big game.
The Brush Bee Diggers defeat the Valley Vikings in Gilchrist 13-0. 13 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 3 left on base for Brush. No runs, no hits, 4 errors. And nobody left for Valley because Mason Unrein pulled it off. She struck out all 12 Valley hitters she faced. The losing pitcher was Ava Campos. Time of the game was just 58 minutes, less than 1 hour to play this game. And the Bee Diggers did not need much. All they needed, obviously, was just one run in the first inning. Yeah, the pitching, that she didn't need a defense there. Harley Holdren struck out, in fact, and a run scored on that play. That's the only run they needed. But Mason Unrein would drive in a run in the first inning. Olivia Gillick scored on a wild pitch. Nevaeh Tolentino with an RBI single. The Bee Diggers added 4 more runs in the second inning. Harley Holdren with a sac fly. Gillick with a 2-run single. And Mason Unrein with a sac fly. And then 3 more in the fourth inning. Lefevre reached in an air. Braylon Rule with an RBI single. And then Tatelli with a sac fly, and Harley Holdren with an RBI. So she had multiple RBIs in the game. And the last run for Brush was scored when Reese Lambert crossed home plate, or slid into home plate in a wild pitch. The Bee Diggers with a victory moved to 6-5 in league play. And they are 10-8 overall. And we're going to keep it right here for a little while since we finished early. In Valley, now at 3-7 in the Patriot League. And 6-10 on the year. Yeah, normally we don't talk to any players right after the game.
Yeah.
But
history was made today.
That was special.
That was incredible.
I mean, I don't know if she. That's what I want to know. Did she feel different? You know, what was going through her, her head?
Yeah.
Especially, I want to know, especially with the 10th hitter of the game, the 11th hitter, I should say. You're down in the count 2-0, you throw a strike, and then it was a pitch hit around the ankles that would have been ball 3.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need those breaks. But
she caught it.
But she caught the break, the pitch was swung at, and all of a sudden, you're looking at a strikeout there. But to go through an entire order, and this Valley team has 6 wins.
Yeah.
Okay, this Valley team has 6 wins. Let's go back to the earlier meeting when Brush won 12-4. Valley had 5 hits in that game. And Braylon Rule was the starting pitcher for Brush. Braylon in that game threw 122 pitches. Mason Unrein in this game threw 45 pitches. I mean, what does that tell you right there? That is, it's an astounding difference.
Oh, yeah.
She threw 77 fewer pitches. Now, it was in 3 fewer innings, but still, 77 fewer pitches. I'll have you take a look out there. If the team meeting breaks up there, Evan, because we'll keep it here for a little while. In fact, while we're doing that, we'll check out the rest of the Bee Diggers schedule, which does involve games, obviously, next week. On Tuesday, they host Strasburg, which defeated Brush 2-0 on another well-pitched game from Mason Unrein. And then a week from today, they're in Lyons against a team they won 12-0. On Saturday, the 2nd, they'll be on our sister station, 105.7 KPMX with Chris Bull-Brom, when they host a Sterling team that is 13-3, more than likely 14-3 after today's game. And then we know what happens on Tuesday, October the 5th. That's the road finale when they take on the Eaton Reds, the defending 3A state champions. And then on Thursday, October 7th, they will face the Platte Valley Broncos. But not that you and I have seen a ton of softball. We've seen more baseball than softball.
Yeah.
But, I know that, and the one thing we mentioned at the very beginning of the broadcast is how much more mature she is as a pitcher this year as opposed to, 1 year ago when she was a sophomore. And that really came to the forefront today by striking out all 12. And let's see, I'm going to disconnect it from here. And we will take it here mobily. And let's see if we can get in something here with Mason Unrein. And you can come with me here, Evan. We'll do it as a team here. As the Bee Diggers won the game today by a score of 13-0 over the Valley Vikings. Yeah, I'm still working on the limp. And if we can get Mason over here so we can talk about really a historic performance here in Gilchrist.
I mean, I have seen good pitching before, but, you know, what happened here today, throwing just 45 pitches was just phenomenal. See if you can pull her in here for me, Evan. Yes, let's get her here. Yeah, we are live here on 1010. Let's bring in junior Mason Unrein. Mason, did you feel differently today? Because what we saw out there is basically historic, striking out all 12 batters. How were you feeling out there once you took the circle for the first inning?
I think it was really nice just having my team behind me. Just we were really talking today. I had the confidence out there, and just having them on my back is really nice.
And here's the funny thing. You only needed them behind you from an emotional standpoint because you didn't need them to field anything, so that must have been even better.
Oh, yeah, it was super nice. We were having some fun. They were telling me some jokes. They had some good jokes today.
All right, did that calm you down? Were you ever thinking about the fact I've struck out every hitter and I'm going into the fourth inning? Did it get in your head, or were you say, hey, I'm just going to pitch here and see what happens?
I just pitched there, and it worked out in my favor.
All right, the second hitter of the fourth inning. That's one thing we were talking about. There was 2 balls on that hitter. You threw a strike, and sometimes when you throw a perfect game like this, you need a little break. She swung at a pitch at the ankles, and I'm sure you had to be happy about that because she doesn't swing at that pitch. You're down 3-1. You might be thinking about it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was super nice. I was very thankful for her doing that.
Tell me what's the difference between your sophomore year and this year. Obviously, you have more experience in the mound, but it seems you feel a heck of a lot more comfortable. You've gotten a lot more pitches in.
Yes, it's been super nice, and just my team has been super great behind me.
All right, now you're 10-8 on the season. How'd you say the season has gone? Not only for you, but the team, you've gotten better. I mean, you still have the Eatons and universities to contend with, but hey, this is a winning record for, I mean, essentially almost a brand new team. You only have, 2 or 3 returning starters.
Yeah, it's super fun. This is definitely, everybody thinks it's our growing year, but I think it's going to be really good. I think hopefully we can come out and get them at the end.
Hey, Mason, congratulations. That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
That is Mason Unrein. She throws a perfect game, only 45 pitches, striking out all 12 Valley Vikings as the Brush Bee Diggers defeat the Vikings in Gilchrist this afternoon. We'll go back to our headquarters by a score of 13-0. The Bee Diggers are now 6-5 in the Patriot League and 10-8 overall. Off just I still can't. I know, but that was simply, that was fun to watch. It's an incredible performance here from a junior who has made a lot of good starts this season, but this was not a good start. This was like we said, a historic start, and as a result, the Bee Diggers pick up this victory here in Gilchrist by a score of 13-0. Next up for the Bee Diggers, they're back in action on Tuesday, and that'll be one heck of a game as they entertain the Strasburg Indians. We'll have the game beginning at 4 o'clock as well as the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Great job as always by my colleague, Evan James. We'll see if Evan is with me at all next week. They got a game at home on Tuesday, on the road at Lions on Thursday, which is a longer trip. But for today, the Brush Bee Diggers win over the Valley Vikings. I'm John Beltran, 13-0 in 4 innings on a perfect game from Mason Unrein on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.